It's October, which means NaNoWriMo is right around the corner. Do I have a project yet? No. Am I gonna do the thing anyway? Heck yes. And do I think I'll be successful this year? Well, statistically speaking, the answer would have to be no. I've attempted Nano a handful of times and I've only won it once, last year. But perhaps that success is replicable. Let's have a look at that. These are the 5 reasons I won Nano for the first time in 2019. Hello everyone, I'm Artemis and welcome to my attempt to unpack just what made 2019 my first successful NaNoWriMo attempt of the 5 years I've done it so far. 5 years. Wow. I mean, some of those have gone pretty terribly, to say the least. If you want to watch the videos of me trying to stay optimistic whilst struggling really badly with my NaNoWriMo attempt in 2016, I have a playlist in the iCard, which is either here or here, I'm not sure. You can have a look at it, just be warned that it's really depressing and I give up at like day 12 or something. But I actually managed to win last year and I don't think it was a total fluke either. I think that I can measure exactly why 2019 was the year that did it. And what better time to look back at my recipe for success than when I'm about to embark on that same journey again. So without further ado, here are the top 5 reasons that I think I won NaNoWriMo in 2019. Number 5, being busy but not too busy. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but if I have too much time to do something, I'm basically gonna forget that the thing exists until it's practically impossible for me to complete the task in the time remaining. Thanks, brain! But last November I was working an average of 25 hours a week. That's less than other people work, and it's less than I had worked at other points in the year, but it was basically the perfect amount for me to be able to convince my brain to prioritize writing without burning myself out. If you're about to be like fucking millennials complaining about burnout after only working for 25 hours a week, just keep in mind that on top of living with a couple of disabilities, I also wrote for 24 hours a week, making my working weeks in November hit almost 50 hours total. And yes, I write at the snail's pace of 540 words an hour, please don't judge. But yeah, working less than I did, and I would have had way too many free hours with which to procrastinate, and much more, and I'd have been a puddle by day 15. So the right balance was key. Number 4, support from other writers. Wouldn't you know it? Being around people working towards the same ridiculous goal as you can actually be insanely helpful. Sure, it can negatively affect your words per minute sometimes if you keep getting distracted by your want to talk shit instead of doing work, but making time for other writers means making time for writing, and surely something is bound to come from that process. Now this will be harder to replicate in 2020 given the pandemic and the subsequent need to not be in the same space as other people, but it's still possible. Even though not meeting in a physical space, conversing with other writers on the web can still be incredibly helpful. Whether you're complaining about the barriers that are keeping you from writing, or rubber ducking your way through a plot hole, whatever, the benefits of knowing that there are other people on the same wild journey as you cannot be overstated. The Nano website has forums, which anyone the website doesn't hate can use, but for me, both last year and this year, my access to the NaNoWriMo community online has mostly been through my region's Discord server. And speaking of Discord, number 3. Raptors! The Velociraptor is a truly wonderful creature. Not only are they brilliant murder birds, but they're also great writing motivators. You know what I'm talking about, Dutch Nano? And in case you don't, here's some context. Winnie the Writing Bot is a Discord bot for authors created by one of my closest Nano friends. Winnie allows users to track their goals, challenge each other to word wars and sprints, and get writing prompts. The most useful feature of Winnie, though, is her inbuilt reward system, the Raptors. Raptors are awarded to writers who meet their goal before midnight each day. Which meant that for me, the hour between 11 and 12 was always really hecking productive. Like, I don't know what would happen, it's like a switch would go off in my brain and suddenly I'd find myself doubling or even tripling my word counts when compared to my hourly average throughout the rest of the day. Winnie can also reward you with a raptor randomly at the completion of a word war, which meant that I had extra motivation to be competing in those. All in all, this meant that I was writing a lot more than I would have otherwise, and I owe Winnie a lot for that. Number 2, setting realistic goals. Last year I attempted something strange. I totally abandoned the idea of writing 1,667 words a day, and instead did something that worked much better. You see, I knew that I had a really busy end of the month, and instead of just trying to get the same flat number every day, I adjusted my word count accordingly so that I would get the majority of the words out before I ran out of time to write. This meant starting with a day 1 goal of 3,300 words and dropping as I got closer to crunch time. Whilst I didn't exactly stay with my adjusted projection the whole month, having adjusted in the first instance meant that it was easier for me to catch up when I fell off. I set myself up on a different site, which allowed for non-1,665 word count tracking goals, which had the added bonus of allowing me to accurately track my progress, even when the Nano website was being buggy. And it was being buggy a lot last year. And here we are at the end of the list, with the number 1 thing that I think made 2019 my first successful NaNoWriMo year. Having a regular writing habit. More so than anything else, having writing be something that I did whether it was Nano or not meant that I had to fight my brain far less to get it to start writing words for Nano. This was a process it already knew. It had been doing it all year. Obviously, executive dysfunction is still an issue for me, but it's so much easier for my workarounds to work when I'm asking my brain to do something it's familiar with, rather than something it's not used to. I had done 309 hours of writing outside of Nano last year, and that did not end there. I've kept writing all through 2020 because now I know that the best way to make writing easy for me is to keep doing it. Again and again and again. So those are the reasons why I think I won Nano for the first time in 2019. It's still so exciting to say that. Are you attempting Nano this year? I definitely am, even though I don't quite know what I'll be writing yet, but I'd love to hear about your projects. And if you've won NaNoWriMo before, please let me know your tips, tricks, and tools for getting through this hell of a challenge. Like, I would not have gotten anywhere if it weren't for the input and suggestions from the wonderful writing community around me, so please help build me up and build up the other people who might be in my comment section. Stay awesome, and good luck with prep. Thank you to my incredible patrons who allow me to continue living a creative lifestyle. That includes making videos like this, but also participating in challenges like NaNoWriMo. If you would like to support me yourself, you can find out more at patreon.com/ArtemisMunoz. Thanks for watching!